Although the third one is lauded, or not lauded, panned by critics for being shitty, which it is. It is. It's a shitty game. I'm just rearranging my camera. I'm just going to skip forward a few seconds until I'm done goofing around. There we go. Level 1 isn't really worthy of any kind of walkthrough or discussion anyway. There's really nothing to it. The first level of Ninja Gaiden, much like the first level of Castlevania, or Castlevania 2, or Castlevania 3, all the series, they're always just very unremarkable. Side-scrolling. Supposed to get you into the mechanics of the game. As for Ninja Gaiden and the mechanics you do need to get used to, the main one is just using a jump slash and effective use of your ninja magic, which I want to say I will now do. Oh, damn it. Always rearranging the camera. What do we got here? Jeez, boy. Oh, damn. To beat the boss or what? There we go. So yeah, the first boss, he's not much. I want to say I'm going to fry him with fireballs here in a sec. And one thing Ninja Gaiden as a series is known for is these cutscenes, which are pretty awesome. And for the most part I leave them intact. I think I started skipping them after a while because they get a little melodramatic. But yeah, these things were a big deal back in the day. Nowadays, every game has cutscenes, like every couple of minutes. I mean, there's pretty much even levels that are cutscenes where you have minor interactions with them. But back in Ninja Gaiden, maybe you get a cutscene at the end of the game at the beginning, but more likely you just get plain black screen with text for both your intro and your outro. So games like Ninja Gaiden were treasured by all of us, even if they were difficult, just because they had that little bit of plot development to them. As good as Castlevania is, I can't imagine how much better it would be with cutscenes. Wouldn't that be neat? Anyway. And in terms of general playability, I would put the Ninja Gaiden games 1 point ahead of Castlevania in terms of just general quality and game mechanics. Because you know what? As hard as Ninja Gaiden is, the controls are perfect. Like they work great. They really do. There's a bit of bouncing when you get hit, but it's not nearly as bad as what happens to Simon or Trevor Belmont. And you do have some control over the directionality. Moreover, on that, you have the ability to climb walls, which saves you from a lot of pits. Okay, so here's the first kind of walkthrough worthy part of the game. I fall in the hole. I fall in the hole. A lot of people have problems with this because of the wind, but really you just have to learn the pattern to it. If you gotta pause it a few times and figure it out, so be it. But yeah, don't get stuck behind that guy because he'll beat the shit out of you. Let's see. Oh, I made it. See, just don't jump when the wind's going against you, and you're pretty much okay. Watch me use my ninja magic to clear all that stuff. Then again, you go with the wind. Same thing here. Yeah, see how the wind's starting to blow back at me? Wait for it to go the way you want to go. Again, I'm going to use my upward traveling fire magic to take care of those things. I think I die here because I actually jump against the wind like a newbie. Yes. Yeah. That spot you actually have to jump with the wind. So it has to be, the wind has to be blowing the way you're going. So just be patient and wait. Every now and again you gotta wait like 2 or 3 seconds in this. Like, I think with the playstyle as it is, which is very frenetic and fast, the idea of doing that is very difficult for people. But you know, there's some measure of patience required for this game. And see, this time I'm being smart and I'm waiting for it to go the right way. Now, as soon as you jump across, you'll see here, you get this raccoon asshole. And there's a few of those in the game, and they're all pretty much positioned perfectly to knock you into pits and stuff, so be aware of them. Here's a place where you can drop. Now, oh shit, what did I do? Hit the wrong button there. Shut up. This is what I wanted to show. Now here, a lot of people would think that they have to jump from there and then jump over like that. That's dangerous. There's a lot of bad guys here that are going to knock you into pits. Sorry, I fucked up there, but that's the way you want to do that. And that's not the only spot in the game that's like that. The game is quite deceptive. Now for boss strategies for this guy, it's actually pretty brutal how bad I whoop him. Like, that wasn't too hard, was it? Just hit him with all of your shit at once and he dies. But seriously, he's a pushover if you have the upward traveling fire magic. I'm not quite sure what it's called. You call it the fire wheel, but there's another fire wheel. I used to have the booklet. I might still have it around here somewhere. I could actually look up what that thing's called, but I'm not going to bother. What matters is that it kicks the shit out of stuff. The Shiryuken that returns to you is also very good, but what that fireball that travels down is, you know, shite as fuck. I wouldn't really bother with that too much. There was one or... The interesting way to look at it, especially when you're playing early on, is that the game's going to give you power-ups in order as you need them. So be aware of that. And you pretty much are going to want to grab everything anyway, because points are a big part of Ninja Gaiden 2. And if you don't get points, you're going to game over a lot. And you'll see here, I get kind of close to getting a game over, and then I really just bring it back. And, you know, not to toot my own horn, but I want to say I ended the game with 9 lives or something like that. Over 1 million points. So, level 3 is another one of the levels where it's beginning to get hard. You've got this night level where the only source of light you're given is those flashes of lightning. Now, it's worthy of note if you get stuck somewhere that you can pause the game and wait for the lightning to flash so that you can see how to get by. What you want to do here, as I'll show you, is you just want to use your fire shield. Now I know perfectly where that pit is. There's a pit there. You probably don't, so pause there when you get to that area. That way you don't waste your fire shield, but you also don't risk jumping into the pit. Here is very similar. You know, don't risk jumping into the pit. And don't hastily jump to that platform or that gorilla will knock you into the drink. Now, most of those enemies that I've been killing there can be easily avoided just by walking away from them, but as I say, my strategy in this game is to collect as many points as I can, so that I can get as many extra lives as I can, so that I can beat the game, you know, in a single credit. Ideally. Here's another level known for its toughness, and you know, there's a lot of people with probably bad memories of this. But once you figure out what to do, it's not that hard. This area coming up on the next screen after this is a giant pitfall, and if you're not careful, you're going to fall into the pits and you're going to die. Same deal with that guy. That guy's killed me quite a few times. Just attack him with magic as soon as you get across. Now here's the pitfall area. Now it's very easy for you to walk off of those little platform things and die. And you'll notice there too that I got that scroll there on the ground. Now what those do is increase your maximum ammo for your magic by 10. There's 1 in each level. You're going to want to find every one. In the first few levels, they're right there in front of you. but there's one or two of them that are kind of out of the way, and you'll see me grab them. And if you don't just go through the footage and look for me, I might not necessarily remember to point them out as I'm riffing about general shit in this game. But suffice it to say, if you don't get them, if you miss one, you should probably kill yourself and try to go get it again. Because if you don't, you'll be in a world of shit at the end game. Though it's still possible to get more. It's hard to explain. You'll keep getting the final scroll in the last level. You can keep getting over and over and over again, so you can get a good amount of health. Now you see, what I'm doing here to this boss is the most effective way to kill him, but unfortunately I kind of fuck it up. I don't do it perfectly, but if you do it perfectly, you can kill that guy in a matter of seconds, really. Oh. He's not a super tough boss once you figure that kind of stuff out. There you go. Your shadow clones are arguably the best power-up you're going to get in the game. They can be used for a lot of different things in a lot of different situations. So not all bosses are vulnerable to them, but the ones that are usually, like, you know, easily exploitable by them. Hey, here's a spot where you're not going to be able to see what I'm trying to do. No. But there's one of those friggin' eyeball guys at the other side of this pit, and I don't want to get whacked in like that. But as you can see, and to this game's credit, you can grab onto the walls a lot of the time and save yourself from dying. Now, if this was Castlevania, I would have died several times over there. Yeah. You want to time that jump so that that guy doesn't knock you into the pits. Again, you get the fire shield. Anytime you get the fire shield in this game, you're probably going to want to use it in book, because it means you're in a difficult passage. There's going to be a lot of monsters or bad guys or just general hazards, and it's going to behoove you to use that. Okay, here's one of the first kind of difficult to get ammo upgrades. It's in that red circle there. If you grab it and then slash as you're jumping across for the first time, you're going to knock it into the fire and lose it. So watch what I do. I jump across, and then I jump back to grab it. Then you keep running across the screen to make those fireballs despawn, otherwise they'll harass you. Speaking of those fireballs, they'll harass you. You gotta wait until the very last second, till they're almost touching you to jump off the edge of that platform and jump onto the edge of the next one. That spot is very difficult and has gotten a lot of people killed. So as you can see here, you've got platforms very similar to 3-1, except you can see them. Now what I'm doing here is trying to light up one of my shadow guys so that he'll grab that for me. That's what I mean where they're a really good power up. Okay. 4-2, the river level. It's worthy of note that the water that I'm currently running on, treading on, is actually just a demon's spit, and that's revealed at the end of the level. So if you saw that, didn't see that, I'm just going to switch back here. Again, rather than trying to jump across from the bridge from side to side, or not the bridge, from the walls from side to side, you can just drop and slide, and that's a significantly smarter strategy. You're not going to die, you're not going to take any hits. This little area here, make sure you jump from the edges of the platforms or else you will not make it across the longer jumps. And you can see I'm going to time it so that I kill all of them in one hit for massive points. And I do that because, like I said, I'm a points hog in this game, and it's going to behoove me in the long run and give me plenty of extra lives with which to take this game out. Now watch out for that guy. He always gets me. Now, there's a one-up on this screen that is hazardous to get. To most people, like novice players, if you've got plenty of lives, I wouldn't bother going for it. I'm going to show you guys how to get it after a couple of failures, because I'm just a goof. And anyway, that's the kind of stuff that'll happen to you if you try to get that one-up. You just get attacked by a bunch of bad guys, so you gotta be really careful. I just did it again. not really worth your time to get this one up. There's a lot of one-ups in the game. Oh, whiffed it again. But I get kind of persistent with these things. There you go. So I got it, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would just pass on that one. Now here, there's a whole bunch of dirty shit going on. And pretty much impossible to come out of this one without taking a hit. Watch what I do. I jump so that I get knocked the right way. That's the best I can come up with. So, if anybody knows a better way to do that. Also, this area, this little guy here, if you jump down there, he's going to beat the shit out of you. However, he's impatient. He'll come to you. You're probably still going to take a hit. It is possible to kill him otherwise. But it's better that he hit you up there than hit you over there where there's a pit. Now I missed it, but the red circle before this one contained the downward traveling fireball, which would have worked well tactically there. So that you could kill that hawk without taking a hit. That's another reason to get those ammo things, so that you can use your magic and not worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of goof around and show you what you shouldn't do at the beginning here, because I want to say I almost get hit. There you go. See, and I didn't fall in the pit there. It was obscured by the camera, but it was close. The key here is to not get greedy. You're going to be able to hit him a maximum of 2 times from each side. I would go as far to say is that if you're newer and you don't have this exactly down, hit 1 on one side and 2 on the other, instead of constantly 2, because you'll see over time that hand gets closer and closer to me. And also, when you get to this spot, after you kill him, make sure you're on one of the regular platforms, not in the river. If you're in the river, you run the risk of simply being rushed off the platform and killed, even after you've killed the boss. Which is very similar to the Grim Reaper in Castlevania, how you can be killed by his little scythe things after you've killed him. Anyway, we're getting close to the end of the game here. We're fighting the first fake end boss at the end of the next level. And that's level 5. Here we go. Level 5's where the game starts to get really hard and cheap. But if you know what you're doing, there's ways to squeeze through most of the difficult areas. You really want to master that jump slash, which you see me do. And be patient in a lot of different areas and see what happens. So a lot of the enemies will just run off the screen or otherwise leave you alone. Now this guy, watch. There we go. He saw me attack. Now, it doesn't always drop off like that, but apparently I lost the fire shield. I would recommend grabbing that fire shield. It makes 5-2 a little bit easier. If you don't get it, it's not a huge deal. 5-2 also contains one of the ammo upgrades that we need to get. Now you see that red circle that I skipped there contained the downward fireball, which I'm just not a fan of, as we've discussed. I believe that was a 1-up. Anyway, here's the ammo. Actually, that wasn't a 1-up, that was an info or something. There is a 1-up here. Now you'll see me miss it, because the timing on this specific 1-up is in fact quite difficult. And if you don't get it just right, you lose it. Kind of sad, but them's the breaks in Ninja Gaiden. I wouldn't count too much on that 1-up, that's for sure. You can see I kind of got lucky and killed that guy before he could get me. But there's no real luck in Ninja Gaiden. These guys just come after me instead. Little cutscene action. Now we are getting to the point of the game where you're probably going to be dying several times on each stage of the level, and your goal should be simply just to push a screen forward and push a screen forward, because you have infinite continues, and with a little bit of memorization you can squeeze by these levels. It may take you a little while, but you'll make it. really it's the bosses that will give you trouble. And once you figure out the strategies for them, most of the bosses in this game can be killed with little to no health. So you really just have to worry about getting through the level. I'll show you how to beat the bosses. Oh my, what a dick. Hawks, right? So the ice level is another one of those levels that kind of gets on people's nerves. I've gotten a lot of complaints about this one. People saying that it's one of the worst ice levels in a video game. And I don't know, yeah, it's pretty tough. But I like it. It's one of my favorite levels in the game. I like how it once again, you know, in the early part of the game you're supposed to go quickly and you're penalized for going slowly. And then you get to the middle part of the game and you have to slow down. The game slows you down to get by stuff. And when you get back, ooh, jumped in a hole. Good times. When you get to the ice level, once again the game is telling you to do things quickly. Okay, so once again, one of those spots where you'd think you were supposed to jump like this and like that, but you aren't. Just drop off the platform. You're good. See, I'm whacking on everything. Just try to clear everything off the screen. Now there's a large pit here that you can't see because of the camera. You're going to want to jump from the very edge of the platform. Be careful, and so on. Oh, and I've died by jumping in a pit again. That's going to happen every now and again. Don't get frustrated when you fall into a pit because of the somewhat slippery controls. The controls need to be slippery for the game to work and to play well. So, although it's rough in this level and a couple of the other levels, I wouldn't have them any other way. I wouldn't want to move like Simon Belmont moves. You know, really. Let's be frank about this. And you see, when I went to go grab that cash bag or whatever the hell it is, I got attacked. Not really worth it for the cash bag. I was kind of hoping for a, oh, nope, dead. I was kind of hoping for a shadow clone, I think. But there is not one to have there. There's, you're basically, if you die before this screen, you're going to be doing that part with a single shadow clone, because the second one is difficult to find on this floor. Anyway, it's over underneath these platforms the way I'm not going to go. And the reason being that the platform is in fact very long and difficult to jump across. You're pretty likely to fall and die. You don't want to do that. Not worth it. Not worth it for the Shadow Buddy. Shadow Buddy's cool, but anyway. So here we are at Ashtar, Lord of Cigarettes. I believe that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking naming him Ashtar, but then again, the main villain of the game is the Jakio, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The game never told me. Oh, Irene. Oh, Kashira. So stupid. Alright, oh yeah! Irene. See, I just don't know if it's time for this. I don't know if this isn't a good time for that. Moving right along. Moving right along. Not mid blowjob. Don't die mid blowjob. Well, that's just kind of gross, Ashtar. Oh, your puny bullets will not harm him. Boop. Come on. Boop. Boop. Stupid, bothersome swine. Clean the bitch up. Maybe get her some mouthwash. Jesus Christ. I should have hit pause. Or sorry, hit start to get by that. There we go. So, level 5-3 boss. Ashtar. Not a particularly difficult boss in my opinion. As you can see, I'm just kind of sitting underneath him and nuking him right now to get a little ahead on him. Now, I feel like I shit the bed a little bit on this boss, and he almost kills me. But he's not a very difficult boss. All you gotta do is stay a little bit ahead on him. He'll teleport all over the screen, shooting 8 fireballs in a multi-direction, right? When he's off screen, what you want to do is duck like I'm doing. That'll create a smaller target so that you can avoid getting hit by his fireballs. Now, although that is not working for me and I'm still getting whacked like every turn, the amount of just frenetic skill that has been gifted to me on this playthrough allows me to kill him. I'm not gonna, brag, because that was not skill, that was luck. But that boss is pretty fucking easy. Like I said, I didn't do well on him on this specific playthrough. You just crouch and wait on the platforms. Yeah, there we go. So 6-1, kind of trapped in this Lovecraftian nightmare subterranean city thing. And the power-up of choice here, I believe I'm going to get shortly, is the upward traveling fireballs. There they are. So the reason you want them is because there's 1 or 2 power-ups that you can only get with them. I just got the ammo with them now, and there's a fireball a little bit further ahead that we can get with them that we won't be able to get otherwise. Now, it's hidden, but I'll show you where it's hidden. Look behind, see? Behind the first stalactite there, before you get to 6-2. Now, level 6 is actually a very short level. We get another cutscene here, which I skipped. Yeah, I guess I got bored with it at this point. Now, 6-2 is very short, but that doesn't mean it won't annoy the piss out of you. There's a lot going on, a lot of different things attacking you. As soon as you get the fire shield, you're going to want to use it. It's going to help you get through this little spot here. You can see I've done a good job of clearing my way to the boss, but if you look at my health, although I've been doing well, I have taken too much damage on my journey, and so I get the oh so rare HP death in Ninja Gaiden. I say rare because normally in Ninja Gaiden you fall in a pit. Let's be frank, you fall in a pit in Ninja Gaiden. So, using the fire shield. Now, I think I take a few hits here, but you can always see when I play, I'm very aggressive. I don't allow the fact that I've gotten the crap kicked out of me by some bad guys to stop me from moving forward. And I think I get killed by these guys because it can be disorienting fighting them, essentially. Your initial strategy right off the bat should be to just blast them with all of your ninpo, or ninja magic, whatever you fucking call it. As you can see, if you're paying attention here, when you strike one of them with your Shoryuken or whichever ninpo you're using, it makes them fly away. That one is in fact a fake one. There's a real one and a fake one. Yeah, I got killed. I thought I might get killed. Anyway, some people, their strategy is to attack the fake one first and destroy it, because if you target it with all of your shurikens, it'll kill it. My strategy is kind of the opposite, in that I figure out which one the fake one is, and then I target the real one until it's dead. It's faster, and I think it's less dangerous. But that said, I take a good amount of damage on this fight here, so it's up to you which strategy you want to use. So you say I've come in here with 75 ninpo, and what I'm trying to do is line up my ninjas so that I can hit as many of them at once as I can. And I'm taking a lot of heat here. I seriously don't think I'm gonna make it. No, yeah, I got it. Huh. You see, that time I was able to actually figure out which one was real. Another thing that happens a lot during that battle is that because there's not a whole lot going on the screen except there's those two enemies. I find that sometimes you get some interlacing issues, and I find it disorienting, and I start to think that I'm one of my shadows, and then I take a hit. So that boss can be pretty tough. But if you do get killed by him, it's not far to him. 6-2 is very short, and whether you game over or not, that's where you're going to start from, luckily. This is the level where people usually start to just lose faith. There's a couple of parts that seem impossible, and Ninja Gaiden is very much like that too. When you get to I believe it's 6-2 and 6-3 both have spots like that, and in Ninja Gaiden the original as well, after you fight the end boss, if you lose, you are immediately ejected to the beginning of level 6, which is rough. In this one, after you get killed by the end boss, you go to 7-2. And, the boss battle is 7-4. There's a couple of different places you have to go, but all in all, it's a lot easier than doing the entire level. And also, the game deigns to give you an extra life along that path. So, it even keeps you in the game, it's not too bad. It could be worse. It could be ruder to you. So, the hallmark of 7-1 for you is just there's going to be a lot of really crazy shit going on all the time. A lot of hawks coming at you at once. You see I've got 4 of these fireballs coming after me at once. That's not going to stop. There's going to be more and more. But you have to just be aggressive and push forward and keep trying. I want to say one of the last ammos is located here. Yeah, there it is. I've gotten 100 now. And that's going to help me a lot at the end bosses. Now, there's a fire shield in that red circle up there. It's very difficult to get. I would go as far to say you should not bother trying to get it because you're going to waste more HP than it's going to save you. That little spot there can kill you, believe it or not. You got those 2 different lava rocks exploding at once. They'll knock you into the pits. This spot here too, pretty tough. Don't be afraid to use your ninja magic. And here's another kind of lame bit. Notice how I just stopped to take care of that bat. Now there's a 1-up here. You don't want to, miss it. 1-ups are your friend. You see, I've been speaking about my belief that collecting large amounts of points in this game is very beneficial. At this point, in 7-1, although I have died quite a few times, I have 8 lives right now. And it's mostly because, not only am I grabbing the 1-ups, but I'm racking up points. Every 50,000 points, you're going to get another life. And that's going to come in handy. See, I'm sitting at 650,000 here. Now, I have 1 health, and I believe I realized that right around here, and I just go, bah, who cares? But the red ammo that I grabbed here, that I'm gonna show you guys how to grab it after you've died as well. Grab it the easy way, though I'm taking some fucking heat. Yes, I'm gonna continue to take heat. Anyway, if you time your jump right with the shuriken that you start with, you can get it. Otherwise, you have to jump from the platform where that, whatever the hell it is, and the guy with the scythe are. Okay, so here is one of those spots that seems impossible. And a lot of people get to this point and they just kind of frown and go, well, as soon as you get on there, you just die. Like, something kills you from either direction, there's no way to avoid the hit. That, this fellow here, as soon as you land here, he just knocks you off the platform. You have a split second to react. So here's my solution. It's called the Flying Ryu Suicide Attack. Now, it's actually surprisingly effective. It can be used in a couple of other spots in the game to save your ass. But out here, watch. Okay, he gets ready. So I just jump on it and I hope for the best. Now, either way, when you fly off him, you're not going to fall off the platform. You're going to be invincible for a second. Take advantage of that. That's all you got to do. Now you get the fire shield, so you know what to do with that, right? Immediately use it so that you don't get killed. This little spot here, I think it's just designed to get, you know, people killed who are frustrated. Because you got to jump across the wall there, and it's a little bit of a reach. But don't get frustrated, because it's not that hard. Saw what I did there? Do that. Kill that guy quickly, or he's going to take some hits off you. Now, here, you got the hawks. You can actually use your shadow to take those guys out pretty easy. Now, you see, I got the 1-up, and this is where I realized that I just have 3 health left. So, it makes sense to reset my health on this level, where there's a 1-up that I can grab, because, you know, there's no consequence, essentially. I'm not going to have to worry about getting a game over. I can just get the 1-up again, and all is good in the world. The only thing I have to worry about is getting my little shadow buddies again, and there's already one. Now watch this. Oh, no, it'll happen eventually. Eventually I'll do that part right, I swear. I want to say I almost miss it here. No, I got it. Be careful not to accidentally, oh, those hawks. You see how I don't get intimidated by them? A lot of people just let them beat the shit out of them, and then they, you know, get frustrated that they've died. When really, if you just throw shurikens at them, they die pretty good. Now that on that room, I tend to just be as quick as possible so that I can save some ninja magic. I got the timing wrong on them, but one of the times I go through here, I'll get it right. And I say one of the times because I do end up dying a few times on the end boss here, but it's nothing too crazy. And well, as you can see from the general speed at which I've been murking through this, it doesn't take me too long to get to the end boss. So it's going to be like 2-3 minutes in between end boss fights. Alright, here we go. I'm doing my little Ryu dance. I was debating jumping in a pit there. I've decided, well, I'm going to go with the gambit. I'm going to try to kill him. So, here's what you do for this guy. Occupy the wall with you and your ninja guys. Wait till he comes close, and just start nuking him. Once you've done as much damage as you can with your shurikens, you're going to have to jump off and try to hit him with your sword. And that can be incredibly difficult. I can't even really tell you where this guy's hitbox is. It's somewhere right in the middle of him. So you pretty much take a hit every time you hit him. Second form, arguably less difficult, but then at the same time it could be said that he's more difficult. If you've beaten the original Ninja Gaiden, the second boss form is going to seem a lot easier in this one than the because the second boss form in I'm thinking of the third boss form in Ninja Gaiden. Or am I? Thinking about all the end bosses in Ninja Gaiden are cocksuckers. They're all cocksuckers. It's brutal. Anyway, moving right along. Let's get to this guy. You can see my general strategy in what I do. And it's also worthy of note, like, I'm kind of screwing it up, because if you constantly attack, you see each time I run away, each time I go for the slash, my shadow guys are lining up to get onto it, but I'm not constantly hitting the button. If I was, they would be getting hits, and I probably would have killed that guy. But live and learn. Get the shit kicked out of you by things. I want to say the adrenaline's running a little high at this point, so I'm getting frenetic. But, no, come on, there you go, buddy. Now I'm getting my patience back. Okay, now this time I want to say I jumped the way I normally like to fall. That's the way I prefer to fall. If that makes any sense. What an absurd way to kill a boss, eh? or sorry, not kill a boss, to get across a platform. And you know, when I was playing this game, I think the phone rings. But when I was playing this game the first time, and I was muddling my brain trying to figure out how to get across that platform back there, I remember getting incredibly angry, just really, really pissed. And it was in a fit of essentially committing Ryu Hayabusa-cide. Hayabusa suicide? Whatever. I was trying to kill the ninja guy. And when I jumped across, I bounced and I survived. That was the first time I made it across, and I was like, really? Freaking really? Alright, I'll take it. Anyway, I believe I'm back to action. But you know, like, and I'll say this too: it's possible to do it another way, where you don't do that. But meh, I say, my way works every time. Doing it legitimately works like 2 times out of 10. So I suggest, you know, doing the flying body attack on that specific bad guy. Oh, what am I doing? Trying to save my ninpo, I think. For whatever absurd reason. Not gonna do me much good when I'm dead. No, now I know what it is. I'm farming it. Alright. I almost lose it. I did lose it. Yeah, thought I was all smart and stuff. But, you know, that said, I do have a bit of goof around lives at this point. I'm literally on the second end boss form of 3. And I have 7 lives. I usually like to get more than 1,000,000 points on this, so I think subliminally I was like, goof around a bit so you can get more lives and then get more points. Oh, to be part of the last generation that knew what the fuck a high score was. By the way, like, if you're watching this video, like, I'm curious to know what other people's high scores for this game have been, so that I might know where I stand. I want to say, like, the most recent one that I can remember, I got somewhere around 1.4 or 1.5 million points. And for the record, on that note, in Ninja Gaiden 2, the point counter only knows how to go to 1,000,000. So when you get 1,000,000 points, it resets back to 0. But with a little basic math, you can still keep track of your score. And anyway, second end boss form. Woo! Now, I kind of fuck up here. Usually, I can kill the second end boss form and the third boss form at the same time, no problem. But basically, like a goof, I accidentally used one more shuriken than I can afford to use. What's gonna happen here? There it goes. I just wasted it. I just wasted it. And I'll show you why here. Because the third end boss form seems really daunting until you know how to kill him. And when you know how to kill him, well, he's a wiener. Huff huff. Something something statue. Probably with a sword and shurikens. Yeah, I called it. A sword. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna fuck it up. Nope. No dice. Now, what I'm futilely trying to do is destroy its head. But the head, she has too much HP. And I will not be successful. I will be killed. Aw, poor Ryu. Poor little guy. I'm even saying that. You know, poor little Ryu. Why'd I have to waste that shuriken? Why'd I have to waste that shuriken? Alright. This time I'm out for blood, so you'll see me just like plow through this shit. Again, using the fire shield and grabbing that ammo. You see, each time I go through there and I grab that ammo, I'm getting another 10 added to my max. So even if you suck at this, like honestly, if you keep failing ass on the end boss and continuing, eventually you're probably gonna get to a point where you have like 200 ammo, and you could literally just blast everything in the level with ninja magic. So you have no excuse not to beat this game. Oh, I finally did it. Okay, so see how my ninjas are lined up? A little basic situational awareness. I can see that I can hit him and him, this hawk, when he hits here. So watch. Bloom, dead. Then I don't take the hit, and I'm happier. Still get hit by the dagger guy, but, you know, arguably... that time I didn't die going for it. But yeah, arguably the better decision. And at this point I have 9 lives. Like a cat. And I'm trying not to take hits here, so I'm actually sacrificing my ninja magic a little bit. Also knowing that I really logically only need 20 ninja magic to kill the final boss, and that is something that's worthy of note. And, okay, finally did that one right too. So these guys, you see how I attack that? They can be a pain, you know. And another little trick there. Notice after I kill him, there's one of those crescent blade throwing guys there. Now, this is another thing that you can use in Ninja Gaiden, and I'll get into that when I do that walkthrough. But depending on where they are on the screen, you can despawn certain enemies, and you know, to that end, save yourself a huge headache. And do yourself a favor and jump over your shuriken to save yourself a lot of HP there. Now watch what I'm going to do. Just watch, my friends. See? So all you need is 20 ninpo. That's all you need. You got that guy. You did the rights. Now because I have a glut of ninja magic, he's now going to be a pitiful weenus, and it's not going to take any amount of effort to kill him. And that's Ninja Gaiden 2. Like I said, it made me laugh when I saw the Angry Video Game Nerd video to this a few years ago. And he said, what did he say? That Ninja Gaiden was, you know, technically possible if you sat down and did it, but Ninja Gaiden 2, because of the level hazards, is just totally impossible, and da-da-da-da, and I'm just like, no way, man, no way. Ninja Gaiden 2 is like just the easiest in the series by far. It's like it's the most fun and playable in the series. It is, in fact, the game that I would suggest you play first if you're going to beat these games. Ninja Gaiden has infinite continues, but is brutally cheap in several areas. Like it will test every aspect of your psyche, and I'm going to be doing a walkthrough for that one as well, because there's some spots, especially in level 5 and level 6, where if you don't know what you're doing, you're just gonna be so sad, kid. And you got to go through level 6 3 times in Ninja Gaiden. If you're the shit, you know, if you're God at Ninja Gaiden and you can actually sit there and beat all 3 of those end bosses back to back, good for you, man. You're awesome. Because I cannot do it. Even the fact that you get your health refilled each time does not save my ass, because each time you kill them, it clears away your ninja magic weapon. Without your ninja magic weapon, you're kind of shit out of luck. I digress. This is how you beat Ninja Gaiden 2. We'll be getting into Ninja Gaiden next week. I have the footage already, but I have to edit some stuff. And anyway, this has been a lot of fun. I hope that I've helped a couple of people beat this game who couldn't beat it before. And if you like this video, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. There will be more of these, and of course every Thursday and Friday, sometimes Wednesday, my friends and I get together and we do some streams on here. I've been known to do quite a few myself. And I think next week we're going to be doing Base Wars as a tournament. And what is it? Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. among others. So